Hail to the... It's a joke. It's a joke.
That's okay. I can take jokes. Listen, it's fine with that.
So what is that you do?
My name is Anthony Cavallo. I'm from Union County, New Jersey. I am a police officer in the Township of Union. I'm the president of the Garden State Riders Motorcycle Club in Union, New Jersey.
Outstanding.
And we're brought here together. God brought us all here together today.
Amen.
For the Kingdom Knights Motorcycle Ministry for a big bike blessing this Sunday in Capitol Heights, Maryland. And that's what we're out here for today. And got here to sit there and watch you guys interview, and now here I am meeting somebody good.
Yeah. So I get speeches every now and then, because whenever somebody say God, it just freezes me.
Right.
Because a lot of people don't, they don't reference him enough. We believe what we believe, but we don't actually act on what we believe. And that's a whole nother interview, so I ain't gonna go there, but that always freezes me for a second.
But the problem is, when it comes to God, people label people.
Yeah, man.
And unfortunately, my last service that I attended, we're talking about label making. And I was telling the gentleman earlier, I used to work with a program called YCS, Youth Consultation Services. And what that program did was rehabilitate young men and women that were in, unfortunately, the juvenile justice system, and we helped them get back into the community.
Mm-hmm.
Teach them about, unfortunately, it was a lot of Hispanic and black gentlemen and women that were involved in crimes. And I told them, you guys already got a label across your chest.
Yes.
So now you got to change that label. Pick your pants up, tie your shoes, dress appropriately, talk differently. And don't be what your friends are doing. Be yourself. Be a leader instead of a follower. And that's what it works.
And my thing, and for real, I tell young men and young ladies, and I said this on Millie's show, I'm 50, and I still do everything in my powers to make my mom feel proud of me.
Amen to that.
To this day. And I don't care if your mom I do care. Whether your mom is still here or if she's not here, your dad is still here or not here, you still need to live your life as a representation of somebody that paved the way for you so that you can become who you are. Exactly. And a lot of us are selfish in that manner. It's like once we leave the home, we going to do things our way, and we're disrespecting our parents.
Exactly. That's the biggest thing I say. A lot of the children that I deal with, because of being an officer, a lot of children you deal with, they disrespect not only themselves, but their parents. And I tell them, listen, you only have but one set of parents.
That's all you
and your dad might not be in the picture, but the woman who raised you and born you, she's the one you can't respect. How would you feel if I walked up to your mom and cursed her out of her name or disrespect her? You want to jump on me, but it's okay for you to talk to your mother that way.
Amen.
So you're telling all the other fellas out there, talk to my mother the way you want.
I'm gonna give y'all this. So and I hear it a lot, for the sons and the moms that say, yeah, my son father ain't hitting on nothing, he ain't in this child's life. We got to start checking that, because at the end of the day, you are still in control on connecting that relationship, and you are still in control of teaching your son and your daughter how to respect the person that was responsible for getting them here on this earth.
Exactly.
We can't keep downplaying the fact that fathers are not helping, because we don't know what's going on in that father's head.
Exactly.
We don't know what's in his past or what he's dealing with at the time. So we have to start teaching our kids how to respect the fact that somebody was a part of actually bringing of their life.
Exactly.
And it takes two. So so what I've learned, young men and young ladies, and even adults, we find an excuse when we fail. So it makes failing cool. Nah, to fail is not cool.
Not too cool, exactly.
To fail is supposed to be to teach growth. So what I do
learning by my mistakes.
Exactly. So people used to always get on me, because when I was coaching youth sports, I would lose one football game on purpose.
Like the Redskins.
I know. So in doing that, I know, right? So in doing that, so when my teams will lose, so my teams will dap the other team up with smiles on their face and they happy, and the other team like, well, why they happy? We just beat them by 20 points. Well, I taught them that there are more important things in life than winning.
Exactly.
And there's also a win when you lose.
Exactly.
So now my kids that I coach that come through my programs, the whole outlook on losing is different from their peers, because they use it as something to build upon.
Something positive. Look at what you did wrong. How can you make it better next time?
Right.
And learn from the mistakes.
And
that's the same thing in life.
Right.
I might have messed up in school today. I didn't study as hard as I should have, like I told I was going to do.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm going to do it better. I'm going to take an extra hour of study instead of playing with your fingers on that game or that phone.
Right.
Put that to the side. Get out there. And the youth nowadays have to learn how to use their mouths instead of their hands.
Yes.
You get a whole lot further when you verbalize and you use your mouth to get where you want to go.
Yes.
Anybody can put their hands up, anybody can fight. Unfortunately, weapons are taking a big part nowadays in society, and it doesn't take nothing to pull the trigger. It takes a man, it takes brains to use that youth to use your mouth, your knowledge of what you have out there, and get your message out the same way.
A lot of our kids are, and to follow up on what Ant's saying, a lot of our kids are missing structure. So I'm a solution-based mentor. I like to give solutions. I don't like to just ramble on. So my number one solution is to start having your kids to have agenda books, no matter what age they are. An agenda book is so prevalent in the growth of a young man and a young lady. Monitor the agenda book, check the agenda book every day or every Monday, but give your child structure.
Exactly.
So now they can't say, well, Mom, Dad, or I didn't remember I had to do X, Y, Z. I didn't know my science project was due. It's up to the parents to teach the kids structure.
Exactly.
Consistently. Not when you feel like it, no, on a consistent basis.
It's a 24/7 job.
It is. You brung them here, you had 5 minutes of excitement to get them here.
Exactly.
So, hey, yeah, that's the rated G. Yeah, hey, that's,
7.
5 minutes. Seven, yeah, we will go 7. Yeah.
Okay.
But in real talk, man, our kids are struggling.
But our kids are our future, so
but
we
they
gotta
are
get
future.
we gotta get into their heads now. We gotta take away those labels that are out there. Like I said, unfortunately, nobody knows where I came from. People look at us driving up the highway, and we're in our motorcycle outfits, our motorcycle stuff, and right away we got a label. Oh, we're gangs, we're bad people, you know. And that's not the case. So just because you see a child that's coming from a poverty area doesn't mean he's a bad person.
Amen.
Unfortunately, mom and dad might not be able to afford to move to a fancy hotel, fancy place to live, fancy house, big mansion on the hill, but have better ethics and bringing up than the kid that lives there.
Amen. Yeah.
You know, so I always tell people, don't judge people by the way they look, because of their appearance. You know what? He might have been wearing those clothes today because all his good clothes that he wears the rest of the time are getting cleaned up. So he has that stuff to wear, or he's working and those are his clothes that he works in. So don't judge that person that you look at the first glance. Get to know somebody.
Yes, sir.
I always like to talk to people to find out what's going on. And like I said, God plays a big part in that. God is what brought us here today, and that's the reason why we met. There's a reason.
That's a reason. And we're gonna stay in contact. This is powerful. When I get speeches, that means I'm allowing God to like come in my head, because I never wanted to come from Archie when I talk, because Archie came from a different place. So what he's telling me now is to give another solution. So another solution is actually have a conversation with, I want everybody today to have a conversation with their child, a loving conversation, and simply ask your child, is there anything on your heart that you want me to know where I failed you as a parent, that you would like for me to do better, that I have done to make you a good kid, or what I have done to make you a bad kid? Let's have that dialogue today with your kids.
I'm calling it in.
You feel me?
I'm gonna
So
call my kids.
so now we can start getting input from our kids, and a lot of our kids are actually intimidated by us.
Exactly.
Because they don't know what mom or dad to expect.
Exactly. Listen, you can't put off till tomorrow, because tomorrow's not promised.
Can't do it.
So don't wake up tomorrow and say, oh my God,
Can't
my
do
baby, something happened to my baby, something happened to my child. Oh, if I only had that one more time. Well, that one more time ain't here. Today's the day to do
Today's
it.
the day.
Don't wake up tomorrow with regret.
I get this feedback flack all the time. My sons, and I am my son's best friend. Parents say, I don't want to be my child's friend. Nigga, my sons are my best friends, and I'm my son's best friends.
They know they could come to it
They know
any
it.
time
They know
and
it.
say,
Come on, man.
I need to talk to you,
I
Pops.
need to
Let me
talk to you,
talk to you.
Pops.
My son's 25 years old.
Come on, man.
And I'm 50. I know I look younger than you.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
But-
I'm in the gym.
he comes to me anytime, Pops, I need to talk. I need to reach out to you.
Yeah.
Listen, let's go, let's talk. No, I don't want to talk on the phone. Listen, I'll travel forever.
Yeah, come on,
I
man.
was telling my fellas that I'm with today, I said, you know what? When my daughter, 22 years old, says to me, let's go to the zoo.
Right.
Listen, everything else dropped.
It's dropped.
What 22-year-old
It's
daughter wants to
simple.
hang with their father at the zoo?
Simple.
You know? Okay, let's go.
Yeah,
and we
yeah.
talked in silly stuff and made it was over nothing. But we had a good time, and it's family quality time.
Yeah.
So I ain't saying you got to go to a zoo, but you know what? Go in the backyard, go to a park, do something. It's easy.
Yeah.
I got a question.
Yes.
I'm sorry if it's okay. Millie in the city here. My daughter said I'm her best friend, and I have been made to feel bad about that. And now when I say it, I always qualify it.
There you
I'm
go.
preaching here. All right,
Amen.
hallelujah.
Amen.
Hey.
I qualify it. every time I say it.
There you go.
And until you just said something, I didn't think about it that way.
Yes.
Why am I qualifying it, and why is it a bad thing? Why is it made to be a bad thing?
It's made to be a bad thing because parents don't have a clue on how to raise their kids.
Oh, I didn't say I had a clue. I just
No,
said.
not you. No, I'm not
No,
saying you.
that's all.
I'm just saying. So this is how I do it. The formula is, everybody that I talk to, their best friend or their BFF, there's never a confrontation. My BFF this, my best. I'm going to hang out with my girl. So that relationship is always great. So why can't I always have a great relationship with my child?
Exactly.
Or my children? So when you simplify, you want your kids to be your best friends. You want to be your kids' friends. Because guess what? Guess who's getting your kids' attention? Their friends.
They're friends.
So
So
why
if
you
you
don't go
ain't
against
there-
the grain? It's just, we're just backwards.
If
I
you
love
ain't
this
there for them,
conversation today.
then their friends are gonna be there, and
That's
you
right.
want to be the one to tell your child what's right and wrong.
Right.
And just because like I tell my kids every day, I don't talk to you or see you every day. Rather, I say I don't see them every day, okay? But I talk to them every second I get.
Yeah.
And I tell them at the end of the conversation, I love you. Talk to you
Amen.
later.
Always.
Yeah,
And let them know
You gotta get Snapchat now, so I've had to learn to use it.
Yeah.
Listen, you saw me before. I couldn't even figure something out.
I get it, sir, and I don't do it right, but I try.
But the thing is,
Thank you.
you feel you got to qualify because other parents are saying, oh, you can't be a parent and a best friend. And that's not true. I don't have to justify why I'm my son's best friend or my daughter's best friend.
Amen. Amen.
I'm teaching my children the right way to go.
I
Because
just
if
want to say thank you.
that's
Yes.
it.
Because from this day forward, I'm not gonna quiet. I'm not gonna.
Ah, you,
No.
yeah, you and we're
I'm a
building.
little honored, but then people make me feel bad about it.
That's your seed. That's your child. And
You're
you're building
doing-
a legacy.
Exactly.
You're building a legacy.
Hey,
Amen. That's a legacy. So,
Hey, okay, sorry. I just
We good?
got excited.
so solution number 3. I love solutions.
I love solutions.
My men that are out here, and I said it on Millie's show, let's start having dialogue, just like the dialogue that me and Ann is having right now. Let's start talking positive things about how to raise our kids or the success stories about. So, a sidebar, I hear more conversations about their kids scoring touchdowns and scoring 12 points in a basketball game, but I don't hear guys talking about how their son was the lead playing a clarinet, and he was a first-chair clarinet, or his science project was like phenomenal,
Or honor roll.
or honor roll, or the project he did wasn't successful, but the second time he did the project, because I took time to actually sit with him to do it, these are the conversations that you have to start having with your friends.
The problem with that is stigmatism. And we got to smash out stigmatism.
That cycle.
Because that's why, listen,
Cycle.
I can't make my son look bad.
Right.
My son can't look bad.
know,
I don't want
right?
him to look like a wimp.
Oh, I can't look bad.
You know?
Right.
So if he looks bad, then I look bad.
Right.
And that's because of stigmatism. You got to
Right.
smash out that stigmatism and say, listen, it's okay for you to play the clarinet. It's okay for you to
I'm
want to
trying to tell
dance.
you.
Listen, some of the best dancers are men. It's okay to
Amen.
dance.
Amen. Yeah.
You know?
Amen. Hallelujah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, real talk.
It's okay. So get rid of the stigmatism. Get rid of like I said again, label making. Get rid of the labels.
Uh-huh.
You know, put your own label on. I'm not weak. I'm strong. I'm somebody, and I could do this. I don't care what you think about me.
T-shirt.
Exactly. I don't care what you think about me. I know who I am. I know where I came from, and I know where I'm going tomorrow.
And start the dialogue with your kids early. Like, so when I go to schools and I go do motivational speaking across the country, I always ask the child, what do you want to be? And a lot of kids hunch their shoulders. Well, that's the parents' fault. So at an early age, map out 5 things to implant in your child's mind.
Right.
So son or daughter, you have the possibility to be a doctor, a lawyer, a basketball player, a gymnast, a singer. So start actually giving them things so they can come in their minds.
Set up goals for
Set
them
up
to
goals
do.
for themselves.
Exactly.
So now as they grow, you are now allowing them to find their selves.
Exactly.
You know, a lot of guys push these kids into things that they don't want to do, and when they become older, they get burnt out.
It happens all the time. That's true.
And that's like your job.
Yeah.
You can't, if your boss tell you to do this project and you get all the resources and everything, but your heart is not really in it to do it, the project is not going to turn
It's
out
not
right.
going to turn out. Exactly.
And then you might get fired.
That's it.
Well, we don't want to encourage them to be a Dallas Cowboy at all. We don't want no training camps.
Right.
No nothing.
Right. But we do want them to take trips to Dallas.
To Dallas, right?
Yeah.
to check out that nice stadium.
To check out the stadium. The stadium is
Stadium.
nice. Yeah, the stadium is nice.
Exactly, with a Redskin shirt on. I don't know.
Yeah,
if
yeah,
I'll do that.
yeah, and Redskin hat.
It might not be
Redskin
safe.
hat.
It might not
It
be
might- I
safe.
didn't
It might not be
Think it was
safe. Well, actually, real talk.
I'm
There,
scared.
it's a lot of love between Dallas and Redskins.
Listen, I'll just say this.
No, it's not.
You know, that would be a label maker, because you don't want to put a losing Redskins shirt on Dallas property. I'm just saying.
Oh,
Get him out of here.
oh. Salute.
Listen, I want to tell you this. It's been a pleasure.
Without a doubt, man.
And hopefully we will
will.
meet up again.
We will. We
you
will.
say you
Yes,
go
sir.
around the country?
I do.
Well, you're welcome to Union, New Jersey.
Outstanding.
Anytime you want. You got my card.
I'm gonna give you my number. So I'm gonna lock put my phone. You got your phone with you? Yeah, put my.
Actually, it's
we're
over
gonna
there.
lock it in. We're gonna lock it
I
in. Now.
definitely will.
Yeah, my man.
Thing again, handshake thing again.
Bet. That's
Ooh,
love.
I hope that
Oh,
answers.
wow.
No, it's all good. No, I smoke cigars. We good. We good.